A record surplus of green cards available this year is putting the pressure on top immigration agency officials to issue all available visas before the fiscal year ends. The backlogs at U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS) have snowballed to create an avalanche of consequences for the agency, applicants, and petitioners, according to the annual report issued by the Office of the Citizenship and Immigration Services (CIS) Ombudsman earlier this month.
Visit us at Swat&Vee channel with your questions to see how best we can help you out with your process. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Now, let's get into the video. Each year, the Office of the CIS Ombudsman releases an annual report on the state of affairs at USCIS and offers recommendations on changes the agency could make to improve the identified problems. The 2022 report covers calendar year 2021, as well as the first several months of 2022. The Ombudsman's annual report 2022 noted that 2021 marked an unwelcome watershed for USCIS, as it tried to work its way out of the pandemic but was instead confronted by the crisis of backlogs, which is now threatening to overwhelm it. The report notes that the agency's significant processing times cause an avalanche of immediate and often severe consequences, including lost jobs and the benefits attached to them, both temporary and permanent, lost societal benefits such as driver's licenses, lost safety net benefits, and similar losses, to say nothing of the anxiety, stress, and depression they experience. This feedback loop creates more work for the agency, as they are then forced to respond to more service requests from applicants and their attorneys. It also slows down the USCIS contact center as they receive increased calls related to delayed cases, increases requests for assistance to congressional representatives, and drove a 79% spike in requests for help from the Ombudsman in 2021. As part of its report, the Ombudsman laid out a series of recommendations for USCIS to help alleviate the harmful impacts of backlogs and lengthy processing delays. The Ombudsman's recommendations include expanding flexibility for work and travel documents, making the expedite process more efficient and consistent, trying new procedures and methods to address the affirmative asylum backlog, continue robust digitization efforts, and learn from its success in backlog reduction in areas such as the U visa determination process. Though the annual report is not binding on USCIS, the CIS Ombudsman's close relationship with and knowledge of USCIS and its procedures gives their insights and recommendations additional weight. The annual report is submitted to Congress each year in midsummer. The CIS Ombudsman serves as an official public liaison between USCIS and its stakeholders, the applicants, petitioners, immigration attorneys, and other advocates and organizations that work with immigrants and USCIS. The Ombudsman's office works to investigate complaints and resolve problems in cases being processed by USCIS. The current CIS Ombudsman, Phyllis A. Coven, took over the job in March 2021. More than 66,000 employment-based green cards went to waste last year as U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officials worked through massive pandemic-driven backlogs and an unprecedented number of petitions for work visas. The agency faces an even bigger workload this year than last, 280,000 green cards compared to 262,000 in fiscal 2021, but said it's well positioned to issue all of the available visas before the fiscal year ends September 30th. The unprecedented number of available work-based green cards could mean an infusion of newly mobile workers to help meet an ongoing labor shortage. Unlike temporary work visas such as H-1Bs, green cards allow workers to switch employers freely without losing their immigration status. The green card surplus also promises faster resolution for thousands of Indian and Chinese immigrants stuck in years-long backlogs because of per-country visa caps. "We're definitely seeing an increase in the number of approvals coming through," said Emily Newman, a managing partner at Reddy & Newman PC in Houston. "I hope it's not too little, too late." The high numbers of available employment-based green cards over the past 2 years are a result of closures and limited capacity at U.S. embassies and consular offices amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Many family-based visas the State Department didn't process abroad rolled over the following year into the employment-based category, which typically has a cap of 140,000 visas per year. The problem last fiscal year was massive barriers before we could even start working through green card applications, according to a USCIS official. Those barriers included a massive log of unopened applications and a long queue of biometric appointments to collect fingerprints and applicants' photographs that had accumulated with offices closed during the pandemic. The agency also struggled to work efficiently under a mostly paper-based system, according to a 2021 report from the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General. USCIS eventually issued 180,000 green cards last year, more than a typical year but still well short of the total available number. Previous failures to process visas before the fiscal year deadline led a group of Chinese and Indian green card applicants to sue USCIS in federal district court in Washington state this week. The complaint argued that green card waste is a self-made crisis because the agency only counts visas as issued after a lengthy adjudication process. A similar lawsuit brought by green card applicants last year in a bid to have their cases adjudicated was closed after a federal judge in Maryland severed the claims based on location on the eve of the fiscal year deadline. They're definitely in a better place than they were in the prior fiscal year, Sharvari Dalal-Dini, Director of Government Relations at the American Immigration Lawyers Association, said of USCIS. But the public has yet to see data from USCIS that would show a significant improvement from the pace of the previous year and allay fears of green cards again going to waste, she said. As of mid-June, USCIS had used significantly more visas than at the same point last year and was issuing twice as many on a weekly basis, an agency spokesman said. The agency declined to provide specific numbers on green cards issued to date. USCIS already has moved some staff resources away from other immigration services to processing green cards instead. The agency also redistributed applications among field offices to spread workloads more evenly. The agency additionally has used a risk-based approach to waive interview requirements and urged applicants to prepare to submit medical forms as soon as their applications are taken up. And it's encouraged others to transfer their applications from one employment-based visa category to another with lower demand where eligible, a process known as interfiling. Although USCIS isn't facing the same initial barriers this year as in fiscal 2021, an influx of Afghans and Ukrainians seeking humanitarian relief and a staff vacancy rate of nearly 20% continue to present challenges. The agency is undertaking a massive hiring drive with an aim to fill 95% of positions by the end of the calendar year as part of efforts to address efficiency and reduce backlogs, USCIS Director Yor Jadoo said at a recent conference. But new staffers could spend weeks in training before they can begin processing applications. They already said they don't have the capacity because of labor shortages that they're dealing with, said Greg Siskind, an immigration attorney at Siskind Susser PC. Just because you're hiring a bunch of people doesn't mean you'll immediately have them all onboarded and ready to go adjudicate petitions.
I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, definitely make sure to share this video with them. We are all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can benefit from this video, the more people we want watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs icon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more immigration updates. Bye!